So the Chinese have made vampire mice. Well, not quite, but it's a little bit disconcerting, to be honest. Okay, so what did they do? They hooked up a old mouse to the circulatory system of a young mouse, and all the young mouse blood flowing through the old mouse started to rejuvenate certain things within the old mouse. And it wasn't that the blood was doing the rejuvenation. It was that there was a part within the old mouse that the young mouse's blood reactivated, and it was that part in the old mouse that was doing the rejuvenation. So the young mouse's blood reactivated this part in the old mouse, and that part started to rejuvenate the old mouse, make it young. Now the disconcerting part of that is obviously extrapolating that to humans. That is, let's take a human blood, young blood, transfuse it into an old person to reactivate that thing in the old person, so you'll be rejuvenating them. And that was my first thought. And what sort of a world will we end up there? And then we end up with things like Jupiter Rising, where they were basically harvesting human essence and then having baths in it to rejuvenate themselves in that movie. And then there's the TV series called The Strain, which is kind of like a vampire-y thing where they had a blood farm where they were basically farming humans for that. And then that reminded me also of the movie Daybreakers, where most of the world had turned to vampires due to certain vaccinations and things like that. And they were they had people in blood farms as well. And hearing about what they did with the mice, it was just instantly I extrapolated that, oh, yeah, I can see where this is going. That'll be applied to humans. I'll figure it out how to do it with humans. But then the trick is, where do you get the source of young blood to rejuvenate the other humans? It can only come from humans. And oh my God, we're going to end up with a blood farm sort of a situation as portrayed in these movies and things like that. And I just sort of shook my head at how it all seemed to be in a weird way sort of linked or foreshadowing or whatever, that you couldn't make it up. Now, of course, truth be told is that there was someone that did try to do that, to sell blood for, I think they were trying to sell 1.5 litres of blood. So the idea is you could have this really fresh, good blood and IV drip the fresh, good blood into you, 1.5 litres, and you'll be all like super duper or things like that. But that really didn't pan out. However, this kind of thing, look, there are blood therapies. We know there's dialysis. There's certain ozone therapies where people can take some blood out, ozone treat it, and then inject it back in, and that has certain health benefits. So there can be some legit things to this, but I just had a dystopian thought when I found out that the Chinese had created, in essence, a mouse that rejuvenates when it's exposed to the blood of a young mouse.